Sometimes defending doesn't work. Because you are using 60 FPS, if you want your defenders to tackle, you have to use 30 FPS. Listen to what I'm saying again. If you want your defenders to actually tackle, not win the ball, there's a difference between winning the ball and tackling the openings. If you want your defenders to tackle, use 30 FPS. So, in this particular online match, I'm going to use the matchup defending, but not going to use pressure in previous video. I used pressure defending, but I didn't explain it into details. In this video, I'll talk about matchup and how to fix your tackling. Not how to fix winning the ball with matchup. Obviously, you already know how to win the ball with matchup. But how do you tackle when you are using matchup? To tackle when using matchup, you have to use 30 FPS. What 60 FPS does is, and 60 FPS, it makes matchup very smooth in the sense that you would be able to move into the spaces to win the ball, but 60 FPS matchup won't help you to be able to tackle. If you want to be able to tackle, when you're pressing matchup, you have to use 30 FPS. Comparing 60 FPS tackle to 30 FPS tackling, you'd realize that 30 FPS matchup tackling is far better. So, if you want to tackle with matchup, use 30 FPS, that's what I recommend. But if you want to use pressure, if you want to use pressure style defending, you can use 60 FPS to tackle. And in the previous video, I used pressure style defending, but I didn't explain the full details. Would talk about pressure style in another video. Smash that like button and let's continue. It is about 30 FPS. Some of you may not understand why I'm saying you should use 30 FPS. So you'd have to watch the previous videos. Then watch this particular video. You'd notice that this video's FPS, I'm using a steady FPS, so the quality isn't so clear and smooth. Comparing it to my previous videos have uploaded. And the other thing is, when you compare this particular 30 FPS gameplay to the other gameplays, you would also realize that I'm able to tackle very easy, right? So join Telegram channel right now. You'd find it very difficult to tackle. Even though the matchup would help you win the ball. But the tackling is where the issue arises from. So, let's see a situation in this particular match where you'd see that my tackle and is actually working. And as the same strategy, I'm using moving backwards with my trick. Move backwards with my trick, but with the tackle, and it's about when you actually want to go for it. So, let me repeat what I just said. When you're using my trick, you go backwards. Okay, you go backwards, but with the tackling. Tackling happens when you decide to go forward. So when you're going forward, would you defend that tackle to win the ball? Okay, now if you want to defend that tackle to win the ball, that is when you use 30 FPS. If you use 60 FPS, you would find it difficult. And open it as the baller moving backwards and forward. See, I moved forward at that point, and tackling was successful. So, basically, tackling is about moving forward. When you're using matchup, and you can also use pressure style defendant too. Taco, but that's as I've said earlier on. That would be for a different video. And let's try our kick of bleach. And see if we can do something really quick. But the way some lacks not so smooth. So, we go backwards as usual. Backwards movement is very essential. If you are using matchup, and we move backwards and nice. Nice interception, and to get past and move over here. And try to move forward. So, whenever I see I'm moving forward, that means I'm trying to go and tackle. So I'm moving forward here, and Pac-Man was fantastic. Fantastical, magnifical move backwards and nice. And let's try to attack us. Okay. move backwards, and at this point, I'm going to tackle that, I'm going to move forward. So, watch this happening and that is it. Fantastic tackle, and let's try to attack from that. Okay, pass and move. The legs are so unbearable this particular match. So, whenever I lose ball, just holding backwards. Okay, as you can see, I'm going backwards. That's very essential. And now at that point, I decided to move forward. Even though the matchup intercepted the ball before I could tackle. Right? So, loose ball, move backwards, and at T I decide to move forward. And goalkeeper did a very fantastic save. Against double touch room, it's actually very easy to defend against double touch. Room opening does downloads of double touch. But I'm not moved at all because I knew. I've really trained this goalkeeper against all of this double touch boom. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you have to use 30 FPS and 60 FPS out. Really struggle to win this ball, but 30 FPS since the tackling is very easy. That is how you do it. Very easy. Tackling is so easy on 30 FPS because it's more faster. 60 FPS is smooth, but is lower, it measure tackling slower, and we have another chance to make it to go. And that is a 2-0 and kickoff glitch. You move backwards. The case. I think I've showed you guys the case I'm using at the start of the match. When I change my camera angle, this is assisted case by the way. People's video was sent me or two, so it's up to you if you want to use special style defendant. You can use 60 FPS special style defendant, but with much of that is what I am doing. And this particular much the moving backwards. This particular much is assisted because I move backwards. And make sure you're moving towards the ball. Sometimes you're moving towards the ball, and then you change direction. It can make you not to win the ball, so it's important. And another with that double touchdown insurance. But it's filled because I know that trick for stopping that. And let's try to attack again. Passing over. Try to do it without you one day and move forward. Let's try to tackle nice. We nearly tackled, but this much is so. So lucky right now, move backwards and nice. Interception and loved it. Pass and move. And yeah, it is what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for this video. To recap, all I've just said is that if you want to tackle better, use the TFPS. And yeah, I must see you guys in the next video. Next month or next 2 months. I don't know when I post next. But yeah, make sure to join the Instagram channel.